Previously, in X-Men. After sacrificing themselves to save the world from chaos personified, the X-Men have set up a base of operations in an abandoned settlement in the Australian outback and are acting as a force for good to earn their second chance at a hero's life. I am Jason Lapidus.
I'm Chris Hannigan.
And we are a group of 7 comics. Welcome to episode 167 of our ongoing live stream read-through of the X-Men comics that became classic, as we read Uncanny X-Men 231 by Chris Claremont, Rick Leonardi, Dan Green, cover date of July 1988. Chris, how are you?
I'm doing well, thanks. I'm good. Hey, it's funny, mention Rick Leonardi, because he really just kind of does an odd issue here and there, right?
Yeah, he's a film guy on this series, right?
X-Men Leonardi run, but every 12th issue, it seems like we come up against the Leonardi.
Yeah, I feel bad for not remembering, considering this is the bulk of what we're doing on the show. But is this the second or third? It's the third Rick Leonardi issue we've done, I believe. No, I'm going to even say the fourth. Okay. First one, I'm going to say in the chat, throw it in. Let me know where I'm wrong here. The first one was the Storm versus Cyclops for the battle of the mantle of leadership in the X-Men.
Right.
Issue 201. The second one was an issue where Wolverine and the Mutant Massacre, the Morlocks, that whole thing. Wolverine fights Sabretooth for the first time. The third one was Alison Blair, the Dazzler, that opening panel of her training.
Right.
In a danger room that wasn't the danger room. I think they were actually in maybe Alcatraz at the time.
I think so.
It was her solo adventure where she with Wolverine maybe, and they go to
she goes to Florida,
the Everglades. Yeah. And this is, I think, the fourth one. And if I've forgotten one, please throw it in the chat. Let me know. I love learning something. So yeah, we get Rick Leonardi once in a while, and he brings a different flavor, different art style to the book. As a kid, I found his stuff really interesting to look at, very memorable. I mean, this cover specifically, I never wanted to emulate him, but his use of dynamics, just his shapes are interesting and they're very lively. I never found his faces to be pretty, but I always found his body language just interesting and memorable. So I was into that. I liked Rick Leonardi, and I like looking at it now. Do you like Rick Leonardi, Chris?
I do. I enjoy it. And I guess and maybe you shared this before, but is there a Leonardi comic out there that he's best known for?
Series? Yes. Okay. Depending on who you talk to, he might be best known as the first artist on Spider-Man 2099.
Oh, okay.
So Miguel O'Hara, that really awesome future Spider-Man suit that we all got to enjoy in Across the Spider-Verse. I happen to have it right here.
Yeah.
That's Rick Leonardi. So the double splash that opens pages 2 and 3 of the first issue of Spidey 2099 is his. So he's the artist on that. He was one of the artists on Cloak and Dagger, which was definitely not a top tier book in Marvel.
Right.
Around just before this time, he was on that. And then he was selected as the penciler of the Never Got Off the Ground Phoenix Rachel Summers limited series.
Oh, okay.
He was, Claremont wanted him in the X world.
Yeah.
So he just didn't find his way onto one of these books regularly. I didn't keep up with X Factor after a certain point, so I don't know if he ever hopped on that book. But yes, Allie says, what are we talking about here? I'm just paraphrasing. We're talking about how many times Rick Leonardi has drawn an X-Men book. You see, Chris, what we don't realize sometimes is our ups and downs throw people off because they make choices, So we needed to start late. Allie said, I got to go get a snack. Gives her time. She went to get that snack. We started the show. She missed the intro. I mean, we can really impact people's lives by the way we do things. And I just want to know if Allie is okay and she got the snack that she needed. And I wish I had a snack that might be as good as what I imagine Allie's is. But anyway, let's say hello to everyone in the chat. Michael, who's been here since the middle of the afternoon. Hey, Michael, Hope you're well. And Ali is here and Mass is here, and I'm really happy that all of you are here. It's wonderful to hang. This drawing of Colossus has stuck with me all these years. I've never seen like a dude's torso look as interesting and like exaggerated and still kind of makes sense. Like Byrne never drew this guy.
Right.
You know, JR never drew this guy. This is a different version of like a hulking dude.
It's a bodybuilder.
Oh my God. I mean, like
every muscle on display.
Yeah.
In organic steel form.
Yeah. It works for a cover. So I always think this was an awesome image. All of his man muscle glory. Do you want to talk? Can we talk MCU for a minute? Is that okay with you?
Do it.
Yeah. I just got back from Thunderbolts.
Oh, okay.
Just putting that out there. You haven't seen it yet, have you?
I have not seen it yet.
All right. I saw it we took the kids. Good time.
Good time. You enjoy it?
I did. I was getting sleepy in the chair, the reclining chair. It was mostly what I expected.
Okay.
And there aren't really spoilers. Like they win, like know that's coming. There are some MCU kind of spoily, like what's going to happen next sort of things that happen in that movie.
Sure.
But everyone plays their role well, like does the thing you expect them to do. There was a little more John Walker in it than I was expecting, and man, his choreography was awesome. Okay. One of the legacy MCU things I liked was that do you know who Heidi Moneymaker is?
No.
One of the best names in showbiz, Heidi Moneymaker. She, for the longest time, was Scarlett Johansson's stunt double. So all those awesome Black Widow fight scenes, all those years, like the most elaborate stunts that she would do, and like the awesome moves, and the motorcycle jumping off, and then going from motorcycle onto running on top of cars, the Tsar in what country were they? Were they in Kenya? I've already forgotten where they were in Africa when in the start of Civil War. Anyway, that's all Heidi Moneymaker. Okay. And so she was her partner in fight for a long time. And so Heidi Moneymaker is like the fight choreographer, stunt coordinator for this movie. Okay. So she's no longer doing Scarlett Johansson stuff because that's not what Scarlett Johansson's doing. But she has this spot within a Black Widow kind of legacy movie in a way, with probably a behind the camera role that involved lots of prep and really playing to her skill set. So yeah, she does sound like a Bond character for sure, Michael. I agree with you. But I don't know if that is her name from birth, but it is a great showbiz name. Anyway, so that was kind of neat to see. So John Walker's fight choreography, like the shield and the gun, there were some just awesome moves that were done, and he looked really great in the movie. He's also like kind of tall and lean as an actor, so he came off really good as a combatant. And Florence does the heavy lifting with the emotion stuff, and it's exactly what you think. We get a lot of brooding out of Bucky, we get and all the comic relief out of Red Guardian, and I've been groaning a little bit at Red Guardian in recent things. I think all the what if spots he did, I was like, oh, okay, it's just shtick. There was no meat on the bone there. But in this one, his lines and the setting, it worked much better for me. So all around, I'm gonna give it go check it out. It's a fun one.
Nice. I look forward to seeing it.
Yeah. I hope you get to see it soon. And I know that that Captain America 4 comes out on streaming before the end of the month.
I saw that too.
So. I haven't seen it yet.
So. No, sorry. Yeah, I haven't seen it. I just mean I saw that it was coming on streaming soon. So. Right.
Ali wants to know if I loved it. I liked it. I didn't love it. I don't know if I'm ever going to love MCU stuff the way I used to. I remember like watching some of those movies and just I can't wait to watch them again right away. These are like, I'm entertained. I'm enjoying it. My mind, truthfully, is really on Andor. Like Andor is up to 9 episodes this season. The tension's there, the drama, everything. So I just kind of want this night to end so I can watch Andor and not fall asleep.
Are the final episodes online tonight?
You know what? I haven't been able to keep pace with how often they drop, but I believe it's 12 episodes, and there are 9 that have dropped so far, and they might be dropping in 3-episode batches.
Okay.
So if that is the case, there will be 3 hours. I don't know. But yeah, we're in the final arc of Andor, and it's gone from being like, interesting at the start of the season to really emotional by the end of the first arc, and then the second arc got good, and the third arc was great, and it's just a burn that just gets hotter and hotter and hotter. It's just the kind of Star Wars that is made for me at the moment. So it's neat to see. So my mind is kind of there. Ali said she went back and watched Winter Soldier, Civil War, and Hawkeye after enjoying Thunderbolts, and she included the asterisk. Look at that. Look at you.
There you go.
She says, I didn't see any What If, but David Harbour is an absolute treasure and should be in every movie of every genre. So there are going to be a couple Hellboy things tonight, given the scope of this issue that we're going to read, and the fact we have a demon on the cover smoking a cigar, wearing some human clothes. Like I can't ignore that parallel. So Harbour, I really think, should have been a way better Hellboy. Given the pieces that are there, he's just so whiny in that movie. Okay, Dad. And I've just finished reading the full run of Hellboy. Like, that voice is never in the comics. So I'm a fan of David Harbour. I want him in more stuff. I just his portrayal with the director is just the worst version of Hellboy. I just knocked over my water bottle. It's all good.
You okay?
Yeah, it goes over my keyboard, not the water, but just the bottle. I don't push any buttons that changed anything, so I'm worried about that. What else did I want to let you know? Good movie, let alone MCU. Yes. Also, probably the first since Civil War that I saw in theaters in the first week. Oh, that's good, Allie. That's cool. You're psyched for this, and it lived up to what you're hoping for. That's good. Yeah, similar to me. Not too far off. Matt says it was. He agrees. It was interesting, but definitely a letdown. Oh,
he's talking about Hellboy, I think.
Well, maybe he's talking about Hellboy. Good point. Yeah, I've only watched it a few times. I keep going back because I'm always jonesing for more Hellboy, and I never enjoy.
I've been meaning to show the Del Toro films to my kids, especially like my 14-year-old. I'm like, we should watch Hellboy and then Golden Army. They're fun movies.
They are. And there's a moment in the Mignola documentary where he talks about coming to the realization that those movies are not his Hellboy. They are Del Toro's Hellboy. And he had to let go and just like let it be what it is. And yeah, those were my introduction to Hellboy too. I mean, I knew the comic existed, but never read it. And I watched those movies and got more interested each time I would revisit it. And there's a lot to like in them for sure. And now that, again, I feel well-versed in the world of Hellboy, and it's just not the same world. The movie thing is its own interpretation, like they always are. And every time someone gripes about the book is better, but in anything, I start to do my best not to roll my eyes and remind myself and maybe them, like, yes, that text is not gone. This is a different text. It has parallels, but it is its own thing. So, I would have loved if they could have made more, but I recognize it was a difficult thing. Mass says The Crooked Man is great. Assuming we're talking about the movie, I actually have not been able to get through it. I got maybe, I don't know, 20 minutes in on Crave, and I couldn't get any further. I was working, and it was like distracting because it's a horror movie, you know? Yeah. Did you ever watch it?
Not yet.
Well, what are you doing, man?
I haven't seen anything. Have you seen this? Nope, not yet. This one? Nope. I haven't started Andor season 2 yet. Like, just gotta get on it.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that you haven't watched because of the way you live your dumb life.
That's right.
You have TV time with other people, and movie time with other people in your family, and that is a very healthy domestic thing to do.
Yeah, and I've transitioned to a lot more book time too. Where
Yeah.
it's, if I'm choosing, if I have an hour to kill before bed, in the sense where I've got an hour of like alertness, like if it's a weekend, I'll probably watch something like that where I can get uh, get into it. But if it's like a weekday and I'm looking at bed anyway and I'm thinking about work the next day, I'm like, I'll just probably read and fall asleep.
Yeah, you seem to have been saving your genre movies for airplane flights.
Yeah, well, I mean, ones that I choose to want, like there are ones that I want to watch at home. Like for example, I want to watch Andor by myself and like have the focus, the attention in my house, comfortable on the couch for like 3 hours, like start burning through. You know what I mean? I just got to find that window.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Morgan, how are you? Morgan says, I'm always confused why they don't do a Hellboy movie that's more visually Mignola, like the Sin City movies.
Oh.
I of course have an idea as to why they don't, but given that I don't work for the studios or the money people, I don't know the answer. I think the answer is they are unsure about taking the financial risk. The people who would enjoy, a YouTube show about X-Men might be more predisposed to enjoying a Mike Mignola looking movie, or Sin City for that matter, or even the look of 300, which is aligned pretty well with Miller's art. And I would love to see if someone took a risk and did a more Mignola movie, but I get why they don't feel safe given the stakes, the financial stakes at the moment. Ali says, Morgan, wasn't the 2004 Guillermo del Toro Ron Perlman done in that style? To a point. I mean, Mignola's art is really, really high contrast, like just black, white. And then the color is obviously added. And Guillermo del Toro speaks in the doc that I was referencing before called Drawing Monsters. He talks about trying to capture Mignola's sense of lighting. And he says it's impossible to do through a lens. Like what he went for eventually a thing, but he couldn't get closer to the Mignola sense of lighting just with traditional technology. And I don't think he wanted to go any further into the digital realm. But if you ever want to see, I always think animated is I would love someone just to do an animated epic. To me, it's low risk. And the Hellboy animated ones are fine, but they need like way more black, way more black. Check out on YouTube. There is a short. There was like a pilot for an animated show that should have gone to Adult Swim called The Amazing Screw-On Head, which is a straight up adaptation of a Mignola comic of the same name, and it's done as close as anyone has gotten to motion, Mignola in motion. Very, very, very interesting to check out. The Amazing Screw-On Head. And it's there. And it's hilarious and weird. Yeah. Anyway. Morgan says, that's fair. I just wish comic movies were more experimental with their visuals. I agreed. I'd love to see some more variety, for sure. And Marvel has been more homogenous than anything else. But we did get some pretty strikingly interesting comic book movies in terms of their look in the 2000s. We were getting, obviously, like I mentioned, 300.
Ghost Rider.
And Watchmen being the same director, but they were visually striking. And then we had the Sin City movies. And even the Sam Raimi Spidey, all three of them are really interesting looking at times with Dutch angles and forced perspective and all sorts of fun things. So there are some out there.
Punisher.
But once those movies, Batman, the Dark Knight in 2008 is the first comic book movie to earn $1 billion. And once that happened, I think the companies all went, and they stopped taking as many risks because they're all chasing the big coin. But anyway, there you go. I did see Sinners as well, which is not a comic book movie, but is written or directed by Ryan Coogler, who wrote and directed Black Panther 1 and 2.
It's a horror film, right?
It's many things, including a horror film.
Many things. Okay. Cool.
Yeah. 1934, Mississippi.
Yeah.
Twins want to set up a juke joint.
Yeah.
make theirs big splash, and things go in a direction.
I've had a few people reach out to me and say you got to see this movie.
It's like it or dislike it. I've been thinking about it since I saw it on Saturday night. I think about it every day.
That's a good thing.
That's a good thing, all in all. Please click like on the video, subscribe to the channel. It makes a big difference for us. We're this close to 400 subs at the moment.
$3.99.
We want to get, of course, up to 500 as soon as possible. So yeah, like the video, subscribe to the channel, share if you can. It's much appreciated, and that's all good. As well, we know we've got our crowdfunder going on right now. We are about to print our next graphic novel, Peregrines, Flights, Fiends, and Fisticuffs, which collects 4 distinct stories that were previously published and now out of print in comic book form. We're going to print them in graphic novel to go with our other graphic novels. And we would love just to get ahead of it and make a good calculated print run and all that kind of stuff. We're printing the book no matter what, but we're always trying to make a dent before we go into that, just to make an informed choice about how much to print when we get there.
Yeah, thanks for those in the chat who've contributed and supported. Thank you very much. It's very kind, very much appreciate it. And for others too, I mean, heck, if you're interested, I mean, we don't for this particular X-Men channel, you know, I mean, it's a fun thing that we get to do, and I know there are other channels you can support and do, you know, whatever it happens to be for a cup of coffee, price of a cup of coffee type things. You can always do that too, just hitting the contribute button. If you want to throw us a few bucks in this crowdfunder, you're more than welcome to. Again, as Jason said, we are printing this regardless, but it does help us just plan accordingly. So I've got a few weeks left. Just coming up in the tail end of 2 weeks, and we'll almost hit 50%. So we're pretty excited about reaching that goal. So here you are.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
The link is in the description below. And I added it to last week's video as well.
Nice.
Yeah. We're going to be in, what, is it in a week almost?
Oh, it's getting close.
Holy smokes. We're going to be at Montreal Comic Arts Festival. Our Festival Bandes in Montreal. Montreal Comic Arts Festival. Can't wait to be there. 3 days on the beautiful plateau in downtown Montreal. Slinging comic books, talking comics with people, and hanging out in one of the most beautiful cities. So we'll looking forward to that. What?
You are doing something fun too, are you?
Yeah, I'm doing. I feel bad for not having the name at the tip of my tongue. I'm going to be on Saturday or midday. That Saturday, which is the 24th. I will be participating in a live drawing, live comic making experiment with one of the artists who works on the Babysitter Club series with Scholastic.
Cool.
And we're going to be doing a collaboration of a live comic in front of an audience for, an hour. So that should be a lot of fun to do. And I much prefer that idea to like a sketch duel.
Yeah.
Because I'm not a huge fan of competition in art in general. I love it. I love the idea of collaborating, and especially that's like my icebreaker with this person whose name, of course, has escaped me because I need to write things down sometimes and have them on hand. But the idea of like meeting them and right away going into a creative relationship, I think that's just the purest way to meet somebody. Everyone should meet someone new, have to make something together. I think that's great. So I'm looking forward to that too, and to hang out with you, man. We should have a good weekend in Montreal.
Absolutely.
We're gonna eat something good.
A few things, I think.
I believe so. And then, of course, 2 weeks after that, the Toronto Comic Arts Festival is right around the corner at the Mattamy Center. Mattamy Athletic Center, which is the former Maple Leaf Gardens. There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Go Leafs.
Go Leafs. And you want to, I think we get right into it now. You want to, here we go. I'm going to remove this. I'm going to add that. And we can get into this issue. And I probably should have in the description talked about Illyana and maybe a bit of that history. I don't truly understand it. I don't know if Claremont even really understands it. But basically, if you don't know already, Colossus has a little sister, and she is also a mutant, and her mutant ability is to create like teleporting portals. And so she joined the New Mutants, and one of the things that happened to her before she joined the New Mutants is she went through a portal that brought her to basically like a hell dimension.
Limbo, isn't it?
So limbo. I mean, whatever they're called doesn't really matter. The semantics of it, I know it matters to people who are really into it, but it's just a dimension. It's fine. Called limbo. That is, and there is a devil or a demon there named Belasco, and her time there, she was with a sorceress who was like a future version of Storm, and taught her how to use magical powers. And the more she uses some of these magical powers, and she has this sword, more of her kind of turns into a demon called Dark Child.
Dark Child. Yeah.
So she's got a whole mythology around her, and it's a neat fusion between the black arts and the mystical and the mutantum, like the mutant narratives within X-Men. So she's a fun crossover character. And this big purple guy, Bruiser, his name is Sim. He's a cigar smoking, clothes wearing demon with a tail, who has a bit of a gruff kind of New York-y accent. And at least that's how he was projected on us when we first read him back when. And he's like the right hand or the right fist of Belasco in Limbo. We did meet them once before, but we'll see how that is connected to this when we get there.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't really put that into the backstory, but it's not a bad thing. No,
great cover though.
Phenomenally memorable. I think it's great. I love the body language of Ileana, like the way you can feel the weight of her.
Mm-hmm.
And the piles of people are interesting, and I kind of want to know more about that. But man, just the pose of Colossus and how he's stretched across that cover is like just again so effective.
Mm-hmm. That's great. I mean, we've had a few covers recently, and I don't think they've really drawn our attention, but this one certainly has.
Oh yeah. He's a good drawer.
All right.
For Ileana Nikolovna Rasputin, this is the happiest night of her young life, the fulfillment of her most wondrous hopes, most glorious dreams, a moment she's prepared for all her days and looked forward to with all her heart.
Child?
Yes, Grandmama.
Silly goose, how can you leave without remembering the most important element of your ensemble? Open wide. Perfect. Now, little Tsarina, at long last you're dressed for dinner.
Interesting intro. There's a lot to deconstruct about that. This idea of this apple in the mouth, like this pig going off to slaughter or something. Like apple in the mouth of the pig that you're cooking. So I don't know what the heck is going on, but obviously calling her like Tsarina, like a princess.
Yes, that's right.
Interesting. I'm looking forward to seeing what happens. Her garb, like everything, it's got my attention. And here we are. Dress for Dinner starring the Uncanny X-Men. Another time, another place. The events in this story take place after New Mutant 66. Anne. Thanks, Anne.
Oh.
His name is Colossus, and there is precious little on this planet capable of withstanding his armored fury. A Stan Lee presentation, as you mentioned before, Chris Claremont writer, Rick Leonardi penciler, Dan Green inker, and the usual cast of Tom Warzakowski and Clemens Oliver, who have done basically every single issue since the beginning, as letterer and colors respectively, Anna Senti editing still.
Mm-hmm.
Tom DeFalco, editor-in-chief. Keep an eye on that editor role over the next, I guess maybe check it out in about 6 issues and let's see what happens.
Is there a Marvel legend of Workout Colossus?
With those
With
very
running
late
shoes
80s
and
running shoes?
Shorts, yeah.
And the short shorts?
Yeah.
No, there is not, but...
Well, maybe we need one.
Yeah, I think we talked last issue that he did wear a superhero version of this outfit last issue.
Yeah.
Where he had the wrist bracers and a belt and and some kind of, overwear or whatever, and some boots. But he was bare-legged and like bare torso and everything. So it seems that this is part of the look of Colossus at the moment, is having him as naked as possible. And I think it's interesting to see him like this. Mm-hmm. Him having costumes always seems kind of weird.
It's something for sure. Like, it's not, I don't feel negatively about it, but it is, it is interesting. It's an interesting look. Yeah.
Especially since there have been so many times where the women are posed provocatively and put in bikinis and all that stuff. Colossus is the character that is, although not human, he's inhuman in this metallic form. It's still kind of like a hyper masculine, hypersexualized version of a
beefcake,
a big beefcake dude. Yeah, it's pretty awesome. Matt says he's a big fan of Orzechowski's lettering. He's just one of the most efficient letterers out there, having to deal with so much and make things still flow. It's really a challenging task he is given to do as much as he can with way too much wordage, and it gets worse and worse and worse as Claremont is going to have to start explaining more as artists start to take control over story down the road. Okay. So Orzechowski has done amazing work already. Wait to see what he does in about 50 issues. It's insane. But anyway.
Yo, Petey, Great Australian Desert's pretty impressive as it is. Not much sense you adding to the desolation. On the other hand, Sugar, if you want a real challenge, I'll be glad to fly you over to the Himalayas and you can try your hand at flattening Mount Everest. Not today, thank you, Rogue. I appreciate your concern. Oh, Lordy, big guy, you have the slightest notion how good you look? Yum. But I would really prefer to be left alone. I understand, but you aren't the most poker-faced soul I ever met, and I just want to let you know that if you ever need a shoulder to lean on, or a sympathetic ear to bend, Ow! Stop! Log your hand. Criminy crabs, Colossus?
Criminy crabs.
Criminy crabs. You got any notion of how hot you are? Good thing I'm mostly invulnerable, else I'd been burned. Even more so if I hadn't flinched so fast and our skins had come into contact, I'd have absorbed your power and psyche, which I explained every single issue. Better be careful, buddy, when you're in the sun, else you'll scorch whoever touches you. Another disadvantage, it appears, of my inability to revert from armor to human form. So much has changed, Ileana. Little snowflake, beloved David's sister. Since last I saw, my sketchbook. No! The heat of my hands, no! City to light, no! I cannot put it out. No!
Oh, poor guy. That's also a great drawing. Good work on the colors, too, here. I like this a lot. Yeah. It's very good.
And you get a little different rogue look too with the jacket and almost like sunglasses.
Yeah,
we've
seen these pieces now, right? Now we've got her with the jacket with the sleeves rolled up.
Yeah,
all these pieces are there for Lee to take it to the next level.
Mm-hmm.
With all his awesome strength, Pyotr Nikolaevich Rasputin tries to trigger his mutant transformation, but as so often happens these days, he fails.
Do you mock me, Comrade Gateway?
Okay, don't change the page because look at this. Infocom presents Lane Mastodon.
Lane Mastodon? Who's that?
This is the comic we absolutely need to reboot somehow. We all need to read a lot of Lane Mastodon.
Lane Mastodon.
And the Blubberman. He saves humanity from the Blubberman.
Saver of humanity, lover of women. Lane Mastodon.
A magic amulet leads a small caravan of travelers to mysterious Egreth Castle in the premiere issue of Zork Quest. Like, there's no inspiration in this. But Lane Mastodon.
Lane Mastodon.
You know where he got that name?
Tell me.
Because he's been laying with
Lane Mastodon. Women want him. Men want to be him. Lane Mastodon.
Zork Quest.
Zork Quest. Wow.
So inspiring.
So stupid. Peter says, of course, you want to read his last line so you can segue through before I interrupted you again?
No, I said, do you mark me, Comrade Gateway? Oh, is it here?
Yeah, you got it. Just for the smooth page turn.
Oh, I see. With your silent stare, small wonder no longer am I a man of flesh and blood, but of living steel. Huh? Clouds blocking the sun, and now rain? Storm, this is your doing.
You looked as though you could use a cooling shower, so I made one for you.
But Chibororo, I am grateful. I had not realized how hot I'd become.
You are far stronger and tougher than you were, Peter, a true Colossus. But those new assets carry with them their own special liabilities.
So I am learning the hard way.
Is that all that troubles you?
Why do you ask? As Psylocke read my thoughts and told them to you.
Shame, Peter. Betsy would never do such a thing. She respects others' privacy far too much. I do not need to be a telepath to know when a dear friend is in pain. The Evolutionary War.
Forgive me. What?
Come, let my winds carry us both back to town.
I prefer to keep my feet on solid ground, especially considering what usually happens when I fall from any height.
Do not worry, I shall not drop you. So, tell me, what's the matter?
It is Ileana, Storm. I wonder if my dreams of her are not some form of warning that she is in danger. I cry for help.
And if they are, Peter, what can you do about it? Awesome drawing. Like her pose there, the way that she's like her back arched, her legs like tightened, everything, like the lines across look so, it's such a good pose. Like you really feel like she's floating almost.
Yeah, no, for sure.
And in control.
Yeah.
I do not mean to be cruel, but as far as the world is concerned, we X-Men are dead. Because our foes believe that, as well as our friends and family. We have an unparalleled opportunity to strike at them without fear of imperiling those we care for. Cast that aside, and all our work are sacrifices.
It will have been for nothing. Duh, Aurora, I understand.
As Comrade... Oh, shit, sorry.
Yeah, that's right, Conrad Landenstorm. His Comrade Lenin taught the community our purpose must take precedence over desires of the individual. My dreams probably mean nothing. Ileana is probably fine. I just wish I knew for certain.
Later, after dinner, a truly valiant culinary effort on Rogue's part.
Another plate, Wolverine.
We ain't got that many left, you know.
There's always paper.
Put a sock in it, Havoc. Just relax, Petey. Remember the exercises I'm teaching you. You still have nerves, sensation in your fingers. Try to feel with them. Focus your concentration. Refine your motor control.
You ask me.
I didn't.
I think it's pretty darn sneaky for the big galoot to be so powerful and clumsy. We don't dare let him do the dishes.
Or housework. Catch, Dazzler.
Thanks, Longshot. Basic bull and china shop. That's our Colossus.
The lucky devil.
Storm, could you please make the rain a bit more intense or rinsing? Great. That's perfect. Dishes are done, boss. Look, Aurora, I know most of the team, they don't have much in the way of family outside of each other. But I've got a mom and a sister, and I think I know what Peter's going through. I know what's sensible and rational and necessary. But I like to think I also know what's right. Aurora, we should let him go. I second the motion. How useful is he to the team if, inside, he's worrying about his sister? Moreover, he wouldn't even be in this fix if he hadn't come to our rescue in Dallas. We owe the guy, Storm.
Alex, it is not Huh? Gateway. Oh, no, that's Rogue.
Is it Rogue? Yeah. Gateway.
Well, is she even there? I think...
Dazzler was there. It looks almost like Betsy, but...
Oh, maybe it's Dazzler.
Yeah. Gateway, what's he want?
Your guess is as good as anyone's, darling, since you don't speak.
He is pointing at me.
Appears like he wants you to follow.
Storm. What?
Let your heart lead you to us in your out. Sorry, your heart led you to us in our hour of need, Peter. Perhaps the moment has come to trust it again, and place the need of the one above those of the many. When Gateway opens his teleportational portal, really, teleportational portal.
Yep. Teleport.
Colossus, step through. When you are ready, he will bring you home the same way. The ancient Aborigine. Aborigine?
Aborigine?
Oh, yeah, I guess you say knee at the end, huh? Aborigine. Thank you. I'm like, aubergine, eggplant. Right. I just couldn't get the pronunciation of like the flow of that word because, yeah, thank you. The ancient Aborigine spins his bull roar, filling the night with its low, resonant thrum hum. And when his bonfire blazes its brightest, casting a multitude of sparks to the heavens.
Anybody wonder how Gateway knows where to send him? Same way he does, Sugar. When he sends us on our merry way, he just knows.
Best of luck, Petey.
Have no fear, comrades. I'll be back.
Another place. It's called Limbo. Look at that. That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And it exists beyond the normal, rational strictures of time and space. Here, reality is a mutable concept, whatever the realm's ruler desires. Unfortunately, at the moment, there's a civil war going on, led by the upstart demon Sim, against the current sorceress supreme, the Dark Child Archimage? I guess it's like an Archimage.
Archimage, maybe?
Yeah, let's go with Archimage. I like that better. Ilyana Nikolovna Rasputin.
So don't keep us in suspense, big boss. What's the brat babe doing?
Watch the mouth, smiley face. Magic there sent you boys to Limbo. You serve Sim now. So you show some respect, or else.
Yes, sir. Anything you say, sir.
It's a major spell, the demon says, his rough voice touched with an unaccustomed awe. As big and black as they come. Necromancy, to summon the dead back to life. By all the spirits of the abyss, by heart, blood, and soul fire, I summon. But before the name can be spoken, the dread powers invoked, the spell completed, he is there.
Ilyana? Can this be you, little snowflake? Have you changed so much? I was a fool to come. I can do no good here. Such a creature is beyond my help. And yet, who am I to call anyone creature? She is my sister.
Hiya, big bro. Long time no see. Look at her, like her feet in the previous panel, like panel one. They are like these. Are those skulls like on the end of her boots, or no? Those are staffs.
That's a staff from below.
Okay. They're just I see now on the previous page. They're just cloven. Man, what a dramatically satanic interpretation of this character. I mean, really, really interesting. And I'm in. I guess death suits you because you look way better than I've ever seen you. Who am I kidding? This is crazy. Talking as though you're real instead of a necromantic shade summoned by my sorcery. And a fine job you did too, sweetness. What do you figure, huh? First time lucky, there's a family reunion. Or can Sim offer his respects too?
Can I kill him, boss? Please, can I? Can I?
Offer what you like, demon. You'll get what you deserve. Nice shot. What a fried Sim once. But Sim is stronger now. Sim's magic mountain is almost as tall as yours. As Sim grows, Darkchild, you weaken. Won't be long before Limbo belongs to Sim. Never! Nice yell, real loud. Sounds and fury, signifying nothing. Pleasure seeing you again, Tin Man. You remember Sim?
Only too well. It was you who helped your dreaming master Belasco steal Liliana away to this foul domain and turn her into the sorceress she is today. Ever since, I have hoped with all my heart for an opportunity to balance those scales.
Colossus, no! Sim's a techno-organic being. The slightest touch will infect you with the transmode virus. Make you just like him. Why am I so upset? That isn't Peter. Isn't even alive. I love that he's like plying through like a tower of
Dudes.
these like robot demon dudes.
Yeah.
That's fun.
That's fun.
Conjuration beyond Sim's power.
Surprise, demon. Your power appears to have no effect on me, because my armored body has become as impervious to magical attacks as to physical ones. What a shame. Just punching his way through things.
Yeah, I think that's a big pow. Don't you dare ever go into action without my permission. I summoned you. Under the rules of sorcery, you have to do what I say.
Perhaps then I can use that belief to safeguard the X-Men secret. Forgive me, I got carried away. On the other hand, you may not be as familiar with those rules as you thought, especially since you have never before attempted such a spell, and I pray will never do so again. But enough of such matters. Why was I summoned?
To save the New Mutants.
All right, so he's playing along with her, right?
Yeah.
That's what, yeah.
It's all very convenient. It all works.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
That's fine. There's a flash of light as one of Magic's teleporter stepping discs materializes beneath them. And presto, they're somewhere else in her eldritch realm. Which one do you think goes first in this? If you were reading that on your own, would you read his line first?
I think it's his line first.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, but it's not obvious. You kind of have to look at both.
Yeah.
Just the way the positioning of the word bubbles, right?
Yep.
Is that Professor Xavier's school?
Bare bones framework, but it's getting more complete all the time. We have till the replication's finished to save the kids.
From whom?
Listen up, I'll tell you. It was late. I was slogging through a term paper on Mikhail Bulgakov's outlaw classic, The Master and the Margarita. I liked the book. I simply wasn't in the mood for schoolwork. Been feeling that a lot lately. Feeling that way a lot lately. Since you... Well, anyway, all of a sudden, company dropped in, literally out of nowhere. 3 characters from the novel. Azazello, Behemoth, and Koroviev come to life. I gotta say that one again. Azazello.
Yeah.
I know how to say Behemoth. And Koroviev. They were on me like a shot. I did my best to fight. They just laughed.
They will not laugh when I am done.
You mean that? You're really upset.
If I am the essence of your brother's heart and soul, For what else is a spirit, even one summoned by the foulest means? How can I respond any other way when you say you are harmed?
They hauled me down to the kitchen. The others had been grabbed before me, all trussed up like prize turkeys. The last one. Oh, sorry, shit. Go ahead.
Last one. Have you there, my bravos? Recipes complete. Time to start cooking.
What's going on here? Who the heck are you?
Foolish, forgetful brat. Not to recognize. Baba Yaga?
Crazy that Baba Yaga is in this, because we're talking about Hellboy, and she is a central figure in many things, including Hellboy.
Mm-hmm.
But if you do a little research on this issue, there's a note that's like, this Baba Yaga is not the actual Baba Yaga. That character appears in a different issue. And they're not the same Baba Yaga. And that's totally fine. We're going to just go with it. The witch crone from Russian legend. But if she was magic, I had the means to nail her.
Silly girl. Think me so careless as to allow you access to your soul sword when its merest touch can destroy me? I've placed wards about this place to deny you the use of your sorcery within its walls.
Fortunately, teleporting is my mutant power. She couldn't stop me escaping, but somehow she prevented my teleporting the other New Mutants away. I saved myself, which means nothing if I can't do the same for my teammates. She's going to eat them, Peter. That's when I thought of you. Sorcery's least effective against iron. I figure you could survive where I couldn't, and maybe pull off the rescue. Awesome with the horns, man.
Yeah.
I want that Marvel Legends, like a full-on Demon Child.
Totally. They've done a Demon Child, have they not?
They've done one, but she wears kind of like a horned tiara, sort of. Like a face crown. It's these black pieces that are very graphically styled. They don't feel like goat horns in the classic, devil sense. It's a neat figure, but she doesn't have cloven hooves. She's wearing like metal boots.
Right.
So I want the full with the tail and old look. Earth, not as it was or is, but as it may well become. You can really see the Dan Green in that, by the way. His brushwork is
great colors.
Classic. Yeah, just classic stuff. A world transformed at this mansion that houses Professor Xavier's School for Gifted Youngsters has been into something transcendently, unspeakably hideous. In many ways, this was as much Peter Rasputin's home as his parents' suburban farm. There he grew up. Here he became a man. And it tears his heart to see what sorcery has done to it. Then he finds the New Mutants, and things get worse.
Intruder. Ha-ha! Knight in shining armor, sent to the rescue, sent to his doom. Tear him up, my pretties. We'll crack his bones for appetizers. In the meanwhile, since the babies are fattened and seasoned for the slaughter, time I was about my cooking. No! Don't be too long, dearies. It's always best to eat your dinner while it's hot. Tonight, ogres, and forever after. If I've anything to say about it, you will go hungry.
On the right-hand side, these are the worst drawings I've ever seen in my whole life.
Hey, man, those are my drawings.
They're terrible. Look at Hulk's hair. Look at that.
Look at
the worst.
Captain America, half his body's a shield.
It is so bad. So bad. They really spent all their money on something else, not on the ad.
They really did.
My goodness.
Terrible. She's an old woman. She didn't have the great head start. I am no sprinter, especially in my armored form, but I should catch her. Fates grant I am not too late. What was me the passage too narrow, and the walls too strong for me to break. Stuck, my sweet? Don't fret. As soon as my work is done, I'll be more than happy to deal with you. Don't, please. You mustn't. They are children. And as such, make the tastiest of delicacies. The door is too small for Colossus, but a human Peter Rasputin might be able to wriggle through. So hard. Suppose I fail. It hurts. It hurts. It hurts. I've done it. Oh, flesh you are. So round, so firm. The perfect centerpiece for Baba Yaga's table.
Yuck.
Yuck. The strength. Ow! You might have a match even as Colossus. A spirited lad. How delightful. But without your armor, quite helpless. Armor, organic steel, a form of iron. Eh? Indiliana said sorcery and demons are most vulnerable to iron. No!
That's an unfortunate bottom drawing position.
I mean, she's not liking it. That's for sure.
Yeah.
You know,
Unfortunate.
Colossus, we all know, can get around. I won. Perhaps despite its drawbacks, my new form is not so bad a thing after all. But it is a bittersweet victory if the damage done by Baba Yaga cannot be set to right.
And almost on cue, Limbo, atop Ileana's mountain of power.
Are you casting a demon spell to cure them?
Afraid that'll do more harm than good? Well, so am I. But I am what I am. I have the skill, I have the power, and there's a need. So I'll do what I must, and hope for the best. There. The kids are back to normal. And the school as well.
Ileana, little snowflake.
It's okay. Okay. Baba was a tough old broad. Counterspell took a lot out of me.
What is wrong? Why do you turn away?
I don't know. I guess I don't want you to see me. Not like this.
She has forgotten I am supposed to be a conjuration. She speaks as though I'm real. Why are you ashamed? You risk everything held in your soul to save your friends. That is something to be proud of.
That wasn't altruism. It wasn't anything so nice or noble. I was angry. Nobody gets the better of magic, especially not some warty old yuck face out of Granny's fairy tales.
Why do you speak so?
Don't be dense, because it's true. Look at me. I'm a demon sorceress. I'm evil. I'm only good because I want to be. What's so darn funny?
You are. Don't you listen to what you say? Don't you understand? I am only good because I want to be. Isn't that the point? Making a deliberate, conscious choice. What you are does not matter because you are trying to become something better.
I keep failing.
That's a nice panel, the two of them.
Yeah.
He's so big.
Yep.
You keep trying, and the harder you try, the more you'll truly succeed.
You really believe that?
How can I not? You are my sister. Whatever you are, I still love you.
But you're dead.
Am I? So long as a person exists in the hearts and memories of those he loves and who love him, he can never truly die. Reality sometimes is not so important as the dream, the ideal that gives it meaning. What is not without on the facade can often be found within. Remember that, beloved little snowflake. Remember me.
Peter! Peter! I brought you back once, big brother. I can do it again. No. I can. But I won't. That necromantic spell, casting it would have made me utterly and irredeemably the dark child, demon within and without. I knew that when I started. I didn't care. No price was too high to save my friends. Somehow, though, I got away without paying. I won't be so lucky again. You did more than rescue the New Mutants, Peter. You saved me from myself. Come on, guys. Colossus is back where he belongs. Let's follow his example. Let's go home.
Hey, the witch babe's gone. That leaves the coast clear for me. Listen up, demons. A new order's taken over. Sim's out and I'm in. And together with your brawn and my leadership, we'll show Little Miss Magic and her mutie mates who's the bow.
Sim is the boss. Anybody care to argue the point? Smiley face buffoon, so long as the smallest techno-organic microchip of Sim exists in limbo, Sim will never die. And while Sim lives, Sim commands the horde he created. Nice try, Colossus, but no cigar. Thought we had your assist for sure. Kid thinks she's on top, but she's wrong. Her wild sorcery's putting too great a strain on the walls between Limbo and Earth. Nasties are starting to slip through. Baba Yaga was one of them. She wasn't the real hag. She just took on that persona plucked from Magic's childhood memories. We figured either she'd eat the babe or Ileana would condemn herself with the necromantic spell. The kid outsmarted us. Sim doesn't mind. Sim is patient. Sim can wait. Sim's magic mountain grows taller every day. Eventually, it'll top hers. You and she won this battle, Colossus, but Sim will win the war. Next, The Brood and Mark Silvestri's return in Earthfall.
Ooh, sounds epic.
Oh, The Brood.
Ooh. A brood of Scotsmen.
Yeah, I didn't mean that brood, but yeah, I guess The Brood. Black Spider says, "What's up, my dudes?" Oh, man.
What up?
The Brood is up. That's what's up. How are you? I'm going to look in the box to see which issue is next. Oh, it's so heavy. I have a bag of bags.
Black Wizards.
What's next? Nope. Nope. Nope.
No.
Oh, I got something.
Oh.
All right. Sim's power is exposition. Oh yeah, he's got to. It's very important stuff. So next issue 232
Is
the famous, not famous cover. This one.
I think I've seen that before.
Some serious brood face.
Yeah.
And then I have to show.
I believe that particular brood's name is Steve.
Is this one?
Whoa, Colossus versus a brood and some cars. Okay.
Yeah, and then I gotta update these. These are the old bags I had since the 80s. And then this one.
Oh, there it is.
This cover. Oh my goodness. 234. Yeah, that one's awesome. Awesome. So those are the next three that we're gonna get as we
Exciting.
continue on this. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Can I show some Marvel Legends?
Yes, you can.
First one I'll show. I just picked up when we were hanging out 2 weeks ago. Titania. Titania. Yeah, Titania. She is big. She is a very, very tall figure. By comparison, I will put her next to Wolverine here. This is at the same height. Boom. So she is a big figure. She's from the Secret Wars line, so she has her
Wolverine,
shield.
my eyes are up here.
Her lenticular shield where her face changes, masked and unmasked. And I really wanted this for my Doctor Doom because he needs to have that shield. But she's a big figure, really awesome sculpt, and has all like the Rachel Summers Phoenix spikes.
Oh yeah.
So I'm hoping that since they've done it here, they're going to do it again in another figure. But she is huge. This is a big matches She-Hulk size.
Powerful.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to that. And I also finally opened. I've had this one for a little while. This like Maximum. This is the worst.
That was the Maximum one. Yeah.
Maximum Spidey. I did get it, and I left it in the box for a few weeks just to see if I was feeling it. Maybe I'd sell it or share it with somebody else. But it's superposable. Like he, he can do Spidey stuff, and one of the best parts about it is like his butterfly, like these. He can like cross his arms.
Oh, that is cool.
So these joints here are like amazingly.
Oh wow.
Yeah, they're really, really good. Lots of accessories.
How many Expos have they done?
One. They've released one. The next one's going to be the Hulk, but I gotta say I'm not going to get the Hulk one. It's mostly reuse.
So Spider-Man was the first.
I'm talking, man. It's mostly reuse of an older figure, and there are pins in the joints as opposed to like these joints are pinless. There's no, it's really, really well done. It's just too shiny. You could use you can like spray them with a matte spray to take the glare off them. But it's a good figure. Happy to have it. I just have a lot of Spideys, so maybe I unload some Spideys I don't need anymore at next year's Toying Around Toy Con.
That's right.
Yeah, but anyway, that's just some Marvel Legends stuff. And there's other Marvel Legends stuff I can't talk about because I don't want to spoil something. But
all right,
Oh, Morgan says I always read it Titania. I read it as Titania, like titanium, but I read it as Titania, and I don't know if there is a correct or incorrect way. But was she not on the She-Hulk show?
Oh yeah, she was. She was played by Jamila.
Yes.
Yeah.
And however they said her name on the show is however they said it. But obviously, however you want to say Submariner and Magneto, you say whatever. However it is in your head, it's totally fine.
I still remember the beer pouring contest from The Simpsons where it's Titania from Juggernauts.
Yes.
And Duffman. That's what they say. But you said if I slept with you, you'd win. It's Duffman says a lot of things. That's where that line comes from.
So Ali says, "Oh, I want to know the Legend spoiler. You have to have keen eyes. I'll just do this. I don't want to spoil because of something else happening. I'll just do this, and if you can spot, then you can do some math. You'll figure it out. But maybe you have keen eyes and you spot it there. But we'll leave it at that. I'll do another tease. You ready?
Sure.
So there's I don't want to spoil something special coming up. So we'll get there when we get there. What else do you want to talk about before we call it a night? Because we got through this issue, which is a good thing.
We did.
Did you enjoy the issue, Chris?
I did. Yeah, I did. I think the Peter Ileana relationship is sweet, and to your point, there's a lot of great visuals in this one. It feels very much like a throw-in issue, but at the same time, they're at a place now where everything feels kind of thrown in. So I think
issue after issue.
Yeah, matching it up in that context, I think it's more enjoyable.
Yeah, it feels like Tales of the X-Men as opposed to the X-Men main title.
Yeah,
this is a backup story, or last issue we had a Christmas. They're playing Santa Claus. This issue, Colossus is going to fight Baba Yaga in a kitchen. Like it feels like X-Men has maybe lost its focus between doing two big, huge events in a row of, one feeling like an event crossover with Mutant Massacre, then the crossover event called Fall of the Mutants, which didn't have any impact in other series, the other series didn't have an impact in X-Men.
No.
Maybe Claremont is spinning his wheels a little bit. And we'll see. Maybe now that we know the Brood thing is happening, we have at least 3 issues in a row of a story that's connected. Maybe we're going to get back into it, and we'll see. But I'm definitely in the mood for what I'm just going to call a course correction.
Yeah.
After a few issues kind of floundering around out back, like I need them to get into some action and go do something.
Yeah,
as a
absolutely.
team.
Yeah, have it be meaningful.
For sure. Okay. Well, that brings us to the end.
All right.
Of another episode. Thank you to my good buddy, writer of Group of 7 and Well Secret Tales and Peregrines, Flights, Fiends, and Fisticuffs, Chris Sanigan. Thank you, Chris, for being here. I really appreciate it. Find out more about our comics, upcoming appearances at groupofsevencomics.ca and follow us at Group of 7 Comics on social media. Please click like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and share with us your take on this issue, your favorite versions of Baba Yaga, wherever those may be, or any X-Men comics for that matter. And, of course, put those in the comments below. We'd really appreciate that. And go dig out your old back issues and your trade paperbacks, your essentials, your omnibuses, your DVD-ROMs, or hop on the app and read along with us on Previously in X-Men.
And I will say before we quickly jump off, few new subscribers on the YouTube channel. As we reach 400, very close, 399. Thank you, Travis, Luria, and RuneCling71. Appreciate the follow. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks, Bubs.
And we hit 400.
Oh, there you go.
There you go. Thank you.
Thank you. Woohoo! Thanks, Bubs, and stay Xy. We'll see you next week, and we'll be reading Uncanny X-Men 232.
That's right.
Sounds good. Thanks, everybody. Have a good night.